Rebuilding a rust-proof Land Rover, Part 3. The big clean-up begins, starting with the engine. Draining the fuel tank and filling it with new diesel, plus an injector cleaner additive to see if it improves the running. Removing the hideous wooden sides and the roof with a hole in it. Then cleaning out my garage to accommodate this 1971 Series 2A Land Rover. These video clips were all recorded on the 20th of February 2025 because the weather forecast said that the temperature would be a bit higher because it's been very cold lately. It never mentioned anything about a torrential downpour. In this opening clip from this video, you will notice a bottle of Auto Glim degreaser on the wing. This would appear to be very good stuff. I couldn't believe how well it cleaned all the filth and grime off the engine, and all the algae staining on the bull bar at the front. Thinking back, I fitted this bull bar onto the front in 1999. And I remember when I bought it, it wasn't cheap because it's galvanised. I didn't like the galvanised look, so I painted it black. And this is what it looks like today, just like the day I fitted it. Originally, two really nice Y-pack spotlights were fitted to this bull bar. Thinking back, I didn't actually wire up the spotlights, they were just there for fancy. It's time to find out why the engine is misfiring very badly. The first thing to do is to drain the diesel from the tank into this container. It didn't actually look too bad, but you can't always tell what the state of the diesel is or how long it's been in the tank. I think it's the best way to start because if the diesel fuel's not right, the engine's not going to run well anyway. This is a nice touch and I didn't put it on there. It's a solid brass Yale padlock. I think it must have belonged to my friend the late Ken Rowley. That's who I sold the Land Rover to way back in 1762. No, sorry, I mean 2014. I know it was 2014 because when the documents arrived, there was a bill of sale from myself to Ken dated 2014. Time flies. As I get older, I often get confused with time spans, and I didn't realise such a long time had gone by from 2025 way back to 2014. Today I have my good friend Rob with me, and here he is filling the Land Rover's tank with some new diesel. Note the tube that sticks out of the filler. This is not just any piece of tube. It's galvanised, it's retractable, and it has a piece of gauze in the bottom, so you can't put any rubbish into the tank. I've always thought this was a really good feature, because if you're in the middle of nowhere and want to fill your diesel tank up, then if you don't have a funnel, you've got a problem. Rob poured in 2 of these green containers full of diesel, so the tank is about half full. And even though I didn't ask him to get any, he brought with him a bottle of STP injector cleaner, which also went into the tank. I was a bit sceptical about this stuff at first, and then something miraculous happened. The engine, which was misfiring and really dirty, suddenly stopped misfiring, but it's still a bit smoky. I need to adjust the position of the cav pump. The cav pump is the pump that feeds pressure to the injectors. It's like a distributor. And if it's not in the right position, effectively the valve timing's out, I suppose, but it's not really the valves, it's the injector timing. And this makes a big difference. Looking at where this pump currently is, it's really a bit retarded. I think I'm going to need to advance it in approximately 1/8 of an inch intervals. Why am I showing the state of the garage? Well, it's disgusting. I keep logs in there, and I never did think I would put a vehicle in it. Although I did used to keep my 4.5-inch scale traction engine in there, but I sold that. Time to have a look in the back of the Land Rover, and it's a bit like going back to the 60s. I'm just about old enough at 72 to remember the 1960s, and I do remember these vivid multicoloured rugs. I didn't video the next bit because I needed to help Rob remove the roof. And then between us we both brutalised the wooden sides, and now it looks like this. A big improvement. I used to enjoy motorcycling. I never took a test. I had L plates on all the time, and when I worked down in Dorset, which is a beautiful place with long straight roads, I did a lot of motorcycling in the 80s. And for the moment, I'm not thinking about putting a roof on this Land Rover. I'm going to take the side windows off and leave it just like this. And run the Land Rover on nice days only. It's like four-wheel motorcycling. Well, sort of. Most of the rubbish we've taken off the Land Rover has now been transferred to my garden, including the original battery, which according to the paperwork that was sent to me yesterday, Ken bought this battery in 2019, but now it's useless. And I've bought a brand new, very high capacity one. Here you can see the debris field with one of the seats and the log burner and the sides. There are some good bits here I'm not going to scrap. The parts on the seat are nothing to do with the Land Rover, they are from an old Zanussi dishwasher. I'm going to keep these 3 aluminium frame windows. Does anyone know what they are and what they came out of? I've removed the roof around the corner to a sheltered part of the garden. Here you can see the hole in the centre, but I can soon plug that with a sort of fancy fitting. I've got a couple of big pieces of aluminium and I should be able to machine a fitting to plug the hole that will also look okay. This is some sand and cement out of the garage that we never used and it's all gone hard. These logs are for my log fire in the lounge. And hopefully, with the end of winter rapidly approaching, I should be able to burn all of these. We took quite a few into the house in carrier bags because I have a storage area. And my friend Rob stacked the logs up against the wall. I'm not being lazy on this one, but my sciatica in my back is really painful today. And picking up all of these logs, putting them in carrier bags and carrying them round into the house would really have caused me considerable pain. What you can see in this image in the distance is the diesel fuel that we emptied from the tank. My friend Rob is going to put it into his Peugeot. It should be fine. The next job to do was to take the windows off, and this was a really difficult job. 3 of them unbolted okay, but 1 didn't unbolt okay and actually came loose from the main window, but it doesn't matter because I'm not using these. After applying the Autoglym compound, my friend Rob is currently pressure washing the air filter, which was really dirty. And now he's in the garage cleaning the top of the central heating unit. And in the fullness of time, many things were put on top of the central heating unit. By the way, the red petrol can doesn't contain any petrol. That would not be very smart to put a petrol can on the top of a central heating boiler. This is a bit of a temporary measure. We've used the logs as a dumping ground, and this piece of wood is very useful. I use it to lay down on the ground if I'm underneath something, like the traction engine and now the Land Rover. At the back of the garage are some spare Land Rover panels that I found in one of Ken's sheds. I gave these panels and the roof to Ken when I sold him the Land Rover in 2014. In the middle of the afternoon, there was a downpour of rain, quite a lot of rain, which was a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing was I had applied a lot of Autoglym degreaser cleaner to the Land Rover's external bodywork, and half an hour later the downpour meant that I didn't have to use the pressure washer. To allow me to get out of the Land Rover at the right-hand side, it needs to be quite close to the left-hand side, and it will be much better when I get rid of the logs, which shouldn't be long. All that remains to be done now is to close the electric garage door, and I'm going to activate the motion sensor on the Ring camera in the garage. That's it for this episode. Progress has been made. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.